Hi, I'm Judah Mantel, and this is the project that I've been working on for about 6 months now. It's called SceneForge, and it's the world's first all-in-one virtual production software built from the ground up for virtual reality, allowing users of all skill levels to create full-size film sets, walk around and set them up at full scale in VR, and even use real cameras to output high-resolution video and images and create storyboards and timelines using that technology. So I'm going to open up an existing project to demonstrate this. I'm going to find the folder right here and open this up. Okay, so here is our empty scene. On your right hand, you have a pointer to select user interface elements and objects in the scene, and on your left hand, you have the actual UI menu. Let's go to the Objects panel. And this panel is a list of all the objects that are currently available. But let's add in a color light checker. Now this is something that is standard on most actual film sets to check the way lights and reflections have an impact on different colors. I'm going to add a rigged character. And this is a guy that I downloaded from Sketchfab. Now he's a rigged character, meaning there's a skeleton underneath the 3D model. And so now it generates bones at different points of the human body. So now I can grab these and pose the character using inverse kinematics to allow some really natural movements, like that. Now it doesn't just work for humanoid characters. If I want to bring in something a little more interesting, I can as well. So let's add in this dinosaur. The software will detect different bones, so you can create some really cool scenes just by posing different characters. So the next tab we have is the lighting tab. This will allow us to change the global lighting of the scene by grabbing the sun and rotating it, or by changing the actual skybox. So right now we have this default ugly blue, but I can change it to a 360 image of somewhere in Europe. Now for more detailed lighting, let's say I want to make it nighttime, so it's very dark in here. I want to add a specific light. So I'm going to add this right here. And when I select it, you'll notice that the object properties are now much more specific. Now if I deselect it, I can actually just grab it and manipulate it like any other object. Now to open up a camera, we press the B button on our controller, and now it brings up this camera object. And this is grabbable using your controller, and you can move this anywhere in the scene. So I'm going to put it right on that guy. So on the camera, there are a bunch of different options. There are the FOV, the field of view, which is how much the camera can see, which is controlled by the thumbstick. So it's essentially a zoom in and out. We have focus. This is currently set to autofocus, meaning it'll automatically focus to whatever's in front of it. We have a selfie button. We have the camera settings, which is you can change the lens size, and this of course is based on real-world camera lenses. I'll go back to 8mm, making it really easy to be applied into a real production environment. You can change the resolution, which goes all the way up to 8K. You can change the anti-aliasing to smooth out edges. You can turn off autofocus, which will then allow you to use the left and right thumbstick to change the focus for more manual control. You can turn on the letterbox, which is just an aesthetic preference, and you can increase or decrease the bloom, which is how shiny or how glowy things are, I guess you could say. So I'm going to capture this image here by pressing the capture button, just like that, and now we can open up the storyboard editor. So this is the storyboard editor panel. These are the images that are going to make up our storyboard. So I'm going to make a very basic storyboard right here by adding a new frame. And let's say we have a guy here, add a new frame, then he meets this dinosaur, comes along, and you can see it's very easy. It's a very intuitive tool. You just add a new frame, select the frame, and then choose an image to assign to it. So we can then click this button to download it as a 4K image, so it's very easy for it to be sent to any other production designer to actually build this in real life if you're on a film set. You can also select overlays. This is not implemented yet, but it will allow you to add things like zoom indicators or pan indicators, things that a traditional storyboard artist would draw in. This way it's just much easier to click a button and have it done for you. Now I'm going to switch to the desktop mode for a second to talk a little bit about the file structure that is generated with the project. Now if I were to click Reveal Project, it's going to open up the actual project file structure. So this is what gets generated when you create a new project, and it's very easy to understand. All you have to do is take your assets, your textures, audio, 3D models, and just drop them right into these folders, and the software will automatically check and detect them, and then read them into the scene. So yeah, that's VP Studio Pro or SceneForge. I would love to hear what you think. That's how it is in its current state. Thank you so much.